Hello ladies! So many of you have come up to me or written me asking me questions about men and about dating and about love and about loving yourself and confidence, etc., etc. So I've decided to create this video to answer your questions. And in fact, somebody asking, she's on multiple dating apps and she's asking, is she doing something wrong that everything starts with sex? So here's my theory on this. You don't want the relationship to start with sex. You definitely want to wait about having sex, etc., etc. And it very much depends on what exactly that means. Is the person coming up to you and saying something sexual immediately, like, oh baby, you've got great boobs? Or is it something like, you look hot? So the thing about this is that, as we've seen from our series, men are very visual creatures. They need to find you sexually attractive in order to want to be with you. If they don't find you sexually attractive to start with, they are basically putting you right away in the friend group. And if they don't find you sexually attractive and put you in the friend group, it's very hard to get out of that friend group, to be fair. Men are very, very visual. So go with the whole thing, but just turn it around into something that's more serious. So there are ways that you basically turn around his question of like, oh, you look hot. You can turn that around. You can say something like, oh, aren't you sweet? You're not bad yourself, but I'd love to know more about you. Something like that. So you basically take it a level up every time you answer a question. There are many, many more tips of how you turn it around. The one thing I do advise you, it doesn't matter how your conversation starts. What you want to do as soon as possible, you want to get on the phone with him, talk to him. Don't keep fantasizing about the guy you're messaging. And also you want to get from the phone call to a meeting, because you want to know if there's actually chemistry and if he actually is more than just, some text messages that he's writing you. So again, it doesn't matter if something starts with him being sexually attracted to you, you want that. He needs to find out that you are what you are, and you need to find out that he is what he is, away from the app. So I promise you, once he gets off the app, he will not be that forward in his conversation. I would be very surprised if he is. If he is just that sexually aggressive with you, that forward with all he could talk about is sex when you actually meet him, that's probably a write-off. Somebody who's asking, she's been in multiple relationships that don't go very far, that don't last very long. So she dates a lot, but they never become relationships. So I actually have a few clients whose dating situation up to meeting me was like less than 3 months. It's not abnormal. So what happens, there are phases to relationships. The first phase of the relationship, the amazing phase, it's the phase, everything seems right, everything's perfect. It's called the perfect phase, in fact. And it's the first 3 months. Usually after the first 3 months, then you have the imperfect phase. So you go from being, wow, I'm so in love, everything's so amazing, to the imperfect phase, which is when you basically find complete flaws in the other person. Oh, their teeth are annoying, his breath actually stinks, oh, I don't like, hair that his thinning hair, or whatever it is, and he's finding fault in you. Or actually the fact that she's late all the time, it's really annoying to me. The fact that she's, so disorganized, it really irritates me. So you're no longer thinking that everything is just wonderful and hunky-dory. You're actually starting to find things that irritate you. Many relationships, relationships we call them, break up after the perfect phase, because many people don't want to even get into the imperfect phase. It's not as exciting as the perfect phase. It's when you find things that are wrong. It's when you kind of deepen the relationship because you're being more natural and more yourselves with each other. So many people never get to that next level, and so they never actually have a real relationship because they actually can't deal with that whole situation of being imperfect in someone's eyes or having someone who's not perfect with them. There may be dreamers, they maybe have problems with commitment. I've seen it all. I've seen it most of the time in men, but I have seen it in women as well, especially women who have been hurt before. So the question I would ask this person is, what happens in the date? So what I do with clients that come to me with this is usually I go through a series of dates that they've had, and find a series of relationships they've had and find out where exactly things break down and what they break down on. So here are some areas that they could be breaking down on. You may be choosing the wrong man. That's about filters. That's about setting your standards. You may not be interesting on a date. You might be the most interesting, amazing woman, but on a date you might come across as one of these robot women, which men always complain about, women who basically have no personality. For some reason, I have known women who are absolutely fascinating. They're amazing, they're accomplished, they're beautiful, they can sit there with their group of friends and talk about politics, the opera, whatever, And yet when you get them onto a date, they become an automatron. They basically like ask the same questions, they have the same tone, they're not very interesting. And so the man isn't going to get excited about that. You have to show your emotions, you have to show your personality, you have to show who you are on a date. So if you're feeling like your dates never progress to a relationship, that probably has a lot to do with that. It might also have something to do with you. Do you have fears that you're bringing in there, or is your tone so aggressive or so hard on the man that he's getting turned off because he's getting scared that you're either going to be too hard work, or you're going to be impossible to please, or you're just not interesting. So